welcome back to The Give and Go. I'm your host, Reynoso. You're here by myself as I react to some very, very special news, which is the release of the Ballon d'Or nominations. We're going to go through all of these awards and predict the winner of each. And also, if you've been watching the channel, you know that I've been building up to this with Reynoso Mountain. So we're going to compare the nominations that I've gone through and what I predicted would end up happening at the 2024 Ballon d'Or. So just to start with the men's Ballon d'Or, we have to acknowledge the elephant in the room, which is the absences. For the first time in God knows how many years, no Messi, no Cristiano Ronaldo. A moment of silence, please. I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. Not because I'm shocked that they aren't here. That's not so much what this is about, but just, where we're at in our lives. We're getting old, folks. Time is passing us, and the greats, the best players that we have seen in our lifetimes are now no longer making it onto the Ballon d'Or finalist nominee list. It's crazy knowing how much they dominated this award for so long. So that part of me, it kind of hurts a little bit not seeing Ronaldo and Messi here, but then also from their perspective, what are they going to do, bro? Like imagine telling Antonella and Georgina that you can't go to France in October. I'm sure that they've gotten so used to it now, bro. For the past 10 years, I've been going to France. And now they got to stay in Miami? It's an interesting time, but what I think the Ballon d'Or committee should do is they should have like an honorary Messi and Ronaldo appearance. These two greats of the game have just given us so much football beauty for the past decade. They deserve to be here somehow involved with this list. But if we're looking at the actual nominees, I think ultimately it does make sense that neither one of them ended up making it. All right, so we have the list. Let's look at it. Let's see what we have in comparison to my Reynoso Mountain predictions and what the Ballon d'Or committee actually picked. Let's go. Let's see what we got. We have Jude Bellingham. That makes sense. Hakan Çalhanoğlu makes it. He was in the first iteration of Reynoso Mountain, but then I took him off after Inter got knocked out of the Champions League. I'm surprised to see he ended up solidifying his spot. Dani Carvajal makes complete sense. I think he's a top 5 nominee. Ruben Diaz. I think Ruben Diaz is going to represent a big mistake I made with Reynoso Mountain, which is underestimating how many defenders make it onto these lists. Because I believe there's like 5 or 4 that made it when I only had one, which was Antonio Rudiger. Ruben Diaz makes it. I'm iffy on this one. Artem Dovbyk makes it. Also makes sense to me looking back at it with what he did with Girona, leading La Liga and scoring as well. He had an amazing time last year. I'm cool with it. I don't mind Dovbyk whatsoever. Phil Foden makes it. Grimaldo makes it, which you guys know I absolutely love. Erling Haaland makes sense. Mats Hummels, another defender that gets on the list after his incredible run and guiding Dortmund's backline to that Champions League final. Harry Kane, love it. Toni Kroos, love it. Ademola Lookman makes it. This one gets me a little hurt because how much of this nominee was dependent on the performance he put in that Europa League final? I get it. It was an amazing performance. He went off. But Atalanta wasn't really a threat in Serie A. And Lookman for himself had 17 goals, 6 assists in all of last year. So I wonder how much of this nomination has to do with him just going off in the final, which was dope, but I think there might be players that are more deserving in my opinion. Emi Martinez lands in the Ballon d'Or list as the only goalkeeper to make it as a Ballon d'Or nominee. Lautaro Martinez, I think he could potentially be a top 5 nominee. Mbappe. Odegaard makes it. Odegaard's a guy that I had on the fringe, and I'll show you the comparisons in a little bit. Dani Olmo makes it. I think that makes sense after the Euros that he had. Cole Palmer, you got to give it to him. He's cold. Declan Rice. Rodri, potential 2024 Ballon d'Or winner, makes it. Antonio Rudiger. Bukayo Saka makes it. William Saliba gets in, the Arsenal defender, because he was immense for Arsenal last year. Valverde, love it. Vini Jr., the other man who's going to be competing with Rodri for the Ballon d'Or award. Vitinha gets in. This one's a surprise because if we're looking at awards like achievements last year, Vitinha only really achieved the Ligue 1. That's really it. And then the Coupe de France as well. But if we're looking at Champions League, PSG fell short in the semifinals. I thought Vitinha was good though. I guess I'm cool with it. We're about to see. We're going to compare it to the players that were left off. Nico Williams, I absolutely love. Florian Wirtz deserves it 100%. Granit Xhaka deserves it 100%, captaining this Bayer Leverkusen side. And then the last one that they put on the list, Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal at 17 years old makes it as a Ballon d'Or nominee. That is ridiculous. Gives me chills on my arms. That is a ridiculous achievement. And so now let's quickly look at what were my top 28 predictions. There's the list right there. That's what I had, 1 to 28. Of all 28 predictions, I got 21 right. I got 21 out of 30 that the Ballon d'Or picks. The players that I put in were Jeremy Frimpong, Julian Alvarez, Jamal Musiala, Rodrigo, Leo Messi, Ollie Watkins, Mo Salah. And the new players that were introduced, Çalhanoğlu, Ruben Diaz, Dovbyk, Mats Hummels, Lookman, Emi Martinez, Martin Odegaard, William Saliba, Vitinha. Julian Alvarez not making it? Interesting. Frimpong not making it? Really interesting. Musiala, that makes sense to me. Rodrigo not being here? I guess the lack of impact for the national team. I guess the fact that Vini was the main guy at the end of the day. I guess that's why they left him off, but I'm surprised that Rodrigo didn't make it. Leo Messi, I get Leo Messi not being here. You know, I was a little biased with my pick. I thought that the Copa America victory would be enough, but looking at it, he didn't put up the same classic Leo Messi numbers that we usually see at the Copa America. And then he was injured with Inter Miami, and ultimately he plays in the MLS, which we just can't rate when it comes to the Ballon d'Or. Ollie Watkins not making it. I think Ollie Watkins deserves to be on this list. I'm sorry. Even with the players they put in, Ollie Watkins should have been here. He went off in the Premier League. He carried Aston Villa to a Champions League spot. He was great for the national team when he had those appearances, when he had those moments. Who could forget the goal he scored against the Netherlands, the game winner to push them to the Euros final? I'm really surprised Ollie Watkins isn't here, and I would go as far as calling this a snub. This is a snub that Ollie Watkins didn't make it. And then lastly, Mo Salah, I get it. He put up numbers in the Prem, but that was kind of it last year. This year, he's looking really good so far. But last year, I get it when you look at the other players that they put in. I just, Vitinha, Lookman, and possibly Ruben Diaz, I could see as players I would personally switch out for one of my picks. But at the end of the day, 21 picks correct out of 30, I don't think it's too bad. And this does kind of fall in line with what I was thinking because the guys that got put in were guys that I had on the fringe. But if we're going predictions here, folks, I got to let you guys know, if you haven't seen our Reynoso Mountain video, I'm going Vini. I'm going Vini wins this trophy and Rodri gets second. Soltero is going with Rodri. So keep that in mind. Let me know down below, who are you going with? Who's winning the men's Ballon d'Or? Going over to the women's game, we have the 2024 women's Ballon d'Or nominees. And folks, I'm going to just put it to you straight. I think Bonmatí wins it this time. I think she wins it. She had yet another incredible year. I'm calling back-to-back Ballon d'Or victories for Aitana Bonmatí, who won the Champions League with Spain, won the Cup trophy as well, went off, put up numbers once again in La Liga. It's Bonmatí's world, baby, and we're just living in it. But I'm also seeing shouts for Caroline Graham Hansen, who also went off for Barcelona. The Norwegian had a great season. Paraluelo, also really, really good. There's options here. I think there's a sizable gap between Aitana Bonmatí right now and the second best player in women's football. So I'm going Bonmatí, but let me know down below, who are you going with? We got Club of the Year nominees. Club of the Year nominees, and this is always just such an interesting trophy because what a weird award. We have Borussia Dortmund, we have Girona, Bayer Leverkusen, Real Madrid, and Manchester City. Truly, if I'm looking at this, I think there's 3 potential winners, but 1 favorite. I think Dortmund can have a good shout here with the incredible year they had last year, making it to a Champions League final. I mean, that's incredible from an executive point of view, from the way that the club is ran, the coaching, the staff, everything was on point last year, and they did great. They did absolutely great. But then you could basically say the same thing for Bayer Leverkusen. I mean, an undefeated season in the Bundesliga is ridiculous. What more do you need to be proven as the best club in the world? Because that's just such a crazy achievement to manage. But the season that Real Madrid had, I think it's undeniable. Winning Champions League, winning La Liga, and doing it in the way that they did, just being inevitable, showing why they're the best club in the world. I think at the end of the day, for as beautiful these stories are between Dortmund and Leverkusen, Real Madrid's probably going to win this. But if they don't, then I'm going to be rooting for Leverkusen because I think what they did was just incredible last year. Nominees for Women's Club of the Year trophy is between Barcelona, Chelsea, New Jersey, New York, Gotham, Lyon, and Paris Saint-Germain. I got to go with Barcelona here. Winning the Champions League final against Lyon, I think that cemented Barcelona as the best club of the year in women's football. So I think they're going to get the Ballon d'Or reward, and I think they're going to get the best club of the year reward as well. We got Kopa and Yashin Trophy. Let's start with Kopa Trophy, which is given to the best player under 21 years old to have the best performance of the season. Last year, we had Bellingham win this award, so let's see what the nominees are for this time around. We have Pau Cubarsí from Barcelona, Alejandro Garnacho, Arda Güler, the Turkish man, Karim Konate, Kobbie Mainoo, Joao Neves, who's now at PSG, Savinho, Mathys Tel, Lamine Yamal, and Warren Zaire-Emery. Guys, to me, this award is just as clear as day. There's no discussion to be had. I've had the answer since 4 months ago, bro, because the only player of this list to be nominated in the final Ballon d'Or list of 30 players is the one and only Laminator Yamal. Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal is going to win this trophy. And that's the thing. He's not going to win the Ballon d'Or. And if I'm honest, I'm more interested to see just where the Ballon d'Or committee ranks him. If it's, between 10 to 20, 20 to 30, or if he's in the top 10, that's what I'm interested to see. But what he will be winning is the Kopa Trophy. He will be winning it. And the Yashin Trophy, I think, is basically the same type of thing because we only have one goalkeeper here who got nominated for the Ballon d'Or. But let's still look at the nominees to give them their credit. You have Diogo Costa, you have Gianluigi Donnarumma, Gregor Kobel, Andrei Lunin, Mike Maignan, Georgi Mamardashvili, Emi Martinez, Unai Simon, Jan Sommer, and Ronwen Williams. It's very obvious here too, folks. Emi Martinez is going to win this reward as the only Ballon d'Or nominee on this list. Getting Aston Villa to 4th place in the Champions League and then also winning the Copa America with Argentina. No other goalkeeper honestly has a resume like that right now, at least in the past year. And honestly, I think it was a pretty slow year for keepers, if we're being honest. And no disrespect to Emi Martinez, great goalkeeper, but I think it was a slow year overall because no one else really poses a threat to win this trophy, in my opinion. As a Liverpool fan, though, I am a little disappointed Alisson didn't make it. I thought he was great for us. I thought he had a great, fantastic season. Surprised he didn't make it over a guy like Ronwen Williams. But hey, I'll keep my bias out of this. All right, the last 2 awards we have are Coach of the Year for men's and women's football. I actually haven't seen these yet, so this is a live reaction right here. For Coach of the Year nominees, we have Xabi Alonso with Bayer Leverkusen, Carlo Ancelotti with Real Madrid, Luis de la Fuente with Spain, Gianpiero Gasperini with Atalanta, Pep Guardiola with Manchester City, and Lionel Scaloni with Argentina. It's between 4... This is tough. Luis de la Fuente I thought was great with Spain. But it's interesting they include international coaches because it's such a different time period. Luis de la Fuente went off for 1 month, while Xabi Alonso did work for an entire year. Gasperini with Atalanta was incredible. I think he has a real case for being 2nd place, but I think 1st place is going to Xabi Alonso. I think first place is Xabi Alonso. I think he will win it. The achievement of going undefeated in their own league is just incredible, and being one game away from being undefeated in an entire season is ridiculous. Xabi Alonso has to win this award with Carlo Ancelotti in second, or potentially Gasperini in second. You could flip those two out, in my opinion. And then the Women's Coach of the Year nominees, we have Sonia Bonpastor for Lyon/Chelsea, Arthur Elias for Corinthians and Brazil, Jonathan Giraldes with Barcelona and Washington Spirit, Emma Hayes with Chelsea and USA, Felipe Patao with Benfica, and Sarina Wegman with England. I'm going to bring it down to two coaches right off the bat. I think Emma Hayes and Jonathan Giraldes are going to be the last two remaining coaches here, and it's going to be between both of them to see who wins it. I'm going to get biased here, though. I think Emma Hayes deserves it after that performance we saw in the Olympics, bringing back this U.S. women's team from the dead after having a terrible 2023 World Cup, all the drama around them, but still having all that talent at her hands. The way she utilized that talent and made the most of it and dominated the Summer Olympics, I thought was so telling. I'm fine if Emma Hayes wins it as a British woman guiding the American team. But Jonathan Giraldes, I thought he was great too. And I mentioned it before, I think Barcelona is going to sweep in the women's portion of the Ballon d'Or. So I completely would be understanding if Jonathan Giraldes gets the recognition here. I'm just going to go Emma Hayes because I love to see USA on top when it comes to women's football. And that is it, folks. Remember, we have the Ballon d'Or ceremony on October 28th. And make sure to subscribe to the channel because I will be reacting to the rewards and the order and everything, the whole ceremony right here on the channel on The Give and Go. So make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, your predictions for each of these awards, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace. Peace.